everybody, I'm Beebs Kelley. Welcome back to Dior Week. We're discussing the Dior drama, the Duchess Dior scandal that we endured last year, but we're also taking a look at Dior's best looks worn by the royal ladies. And in this episode, we are taking a look at some of the best and worst Dior red carpet looks. Dior has played around a little bit with a cigarette pant and peplum off the shoulder or strapless top. One version of this was successful, one absolutely not. I dislike all of it. Maybe except the pants. The pants would be great with something else. It is a tunic length peplum, and I'm not having it.
This is not a dress, this is a tunic.
No, thank you. If this stopped at like hip length or like right where the leg meets torso, it would have been really, really great. But this shortens her and makes the strapless décolletage look disjointed. And like there's too much space up here. Also, the hairstyle's not helping anything either. But Dakota Johnson wore a Dior peplum suit successfully. And notice it is not a tunic. Diane Kruger wore a 2012 haute couture organza and lace gown, which I absolutely love the shape and silhouette of this. The pattern is amazing, but I hate the black blobs. They don't look like flowers or like watercolor or anything. They just look like soot, blobby blobs. Otherwise, this was perfection. Even her styling. I love the ponytail. It's perky, it's sweet, it's cute. It goes with the vibe of the dress. It would have been fabulous if it weren't for the blobs. What are the blobs doing? Okay, here we have Eva Green in this Dior dress. Big no, huge no from me. The hair is insane, totally not working. The collar and cuffs are a little bit too heavy. They are just kind of jarring. They don't flow excellently with the dress either. Overall, this was a ginormous fail. And then we have Charlize Theron in the flower boobs. Hate it in every way, shape, and form. It's wrinkly as all get out as well. The boob thing, what's happening? It not only makes them look droopy and shrinks them sort of, it makes them look smaller than they are, but it's just tacky sort of, and it looks clunky. It just looks bad. Next we have Jessica Biel, another one that's like not great, could have been okay. We're getting better. We're going to get better as it goes. Don't worry. This is a 2012 soft pink Dior dress, and the dress is actually fine. So she has slightly wider shoulders than hips, not dramatically, but enough that this dress with the big pockets on the hips actually offers her really nice balance. Even though they're not my personal favorite feature, it kind of remind me of like how if you have a bathrobe whose pockets just kind of hang open, that's what these sort of big open pockets remind me of, but that's okay. It works fine for her silhouette. And the length is really nice and elegant. She just ruins this with this hilariously deep side part that looks like a comb over, at least it does in this picture. And the necklace that she has, it's just kind of not the vibe at all for a Dior dress. The necklace has got to go. She needed something simple and elegant, but thick, like a chunky necklace that's like just jewels. Marion Cotillard in 2013 haute couture here. I would have loved this because yellow is my favorite color to look at. It's my favorite color to see, not to wear, but to look at. Like I love yellow, but I hate this disconnected skirt situation. There's this sheer panel just above the knee that sort of makes it look like the skirt is like hanging or floating. It would have been so pretty without that because I love the draping. This like almost petal-like draping across here is so beautiful. It should have just had a normal skirt underneath. It would have been timeless and amazing. Also, this looks like it's falling down a little bit, like it's maybe a little bit too low. It's not as flattering as it could be to her chest area. But besides that, it was pretty, and good thing she has the necklace on to bring the eye back up. Okay, Natalie Portman in this vintage Dior gown. Yes, please, it's amazing. This is styled perfectly. It's a complete and total winner. Perfect proportions, perfect balance. It's not falling down. It fits her bust. Look at, there's no quad boob. It's not slipping. It doesn't look awkward there at all. This is how they're meant to be worn. Proper undergarments are a big factor in the success of these strapless dresses, but so is the height and tightness that they have. I love the color and I love, love, love polka dots. It's a tad wrinkly at the bottom, but it says it's a vintage dress. So sometimes those fabrics are just not as cooperative. So I'll accept the wrinkles on this one. Some people might find this one kind of Minnie Mouse or just not quite as elegant, but I would strongly disagree. I think this is totally fab. Here we have two looks that were almost fabulous. We have Charlize Theron in 2013 haute couture. And I absolutely love it. The peplum is perfect for her. She just needed a necklace to really bring the eye back up, because also her earrings are really small. So she just needed something to sort of bring the eye back up and complement this bare décolletage. Otherwise, this is perfection. I absolutely love this. It's so timeless and gorgeous. Nicole Kidman in 2011 here. I wish she had white shoes. The dress is interesting, but it's not my favorite. It almost looks a little bit messy around the hips with this crisscross sort of panel. It's adding some volume to her hips, which she can get away with because she has really balanced proportions, lots of height to work with. Sometimes her hips can look a little bit more narrow than her shoulder line, so I think that's fine for her body type. I just don't love it. Then we have Jennifer Lawrence in this absolutely beautiful gown. The soft color allows the drama of the dress to not overwhelm you, or her for that matter. It's just gorgeous. It may be sitting just a tad too low, but it's not enough to be mad about in my opinion, because the rest is so lovely and it's styled so nicely. I would call this one less successful, but it's still really pretty. It just looks slightly less polished around the bust seams and the cutouts. It may have been more successful in a different color where the seams would stand out a little bit less. This white satin is gonna show seams and puckering no matter what. It just could have maybe been slightly more polished and better carried off. And then this red one is spectacular, but I hate her hair. It's way too old for her. This hairstyle is just aging her. Just not my favorite in general, but it's a nice, simple, beautiful dress here. And again, she has balanced proportions and length to her torso to make something like these side peplum or fluttery hip panels work just fine. Okay, now on to some fun, more like daywear looks from Dior. We have Rosie Huntington-Whiteley in a posh, fun, preppy look here. I absolutely love it for what it is, which is romper style daywear. It is so fab and cute. I'm not a huge fan of the pocket panels hanging down, but other than that, I think it's really cute. Jennifer Lawrence in something I would totally wear. This is a super cute, fabulous daywear look. And Kristen Stewart in a Dior mini dress, a nice, bright, beautiful yellow color here. It fits her beautifully. I love the flare of it, the fit and flare design. All super cute and fun. Next up, we have Suki Waterhouse. I like this, but I don't love it. I feel like mixed media only works some of the time. I wonder if it would have worked better with pleated rather than a tiered skirt. And also, why is one side of the bodice area looking like it doesn't have a smooth line and the other side is? It's almost like it's not fitting her properly, because I can't imagine that being designed that way on purpose. It could just be the way she's standing. She kind of does this, leans one shoulder forward in a lot of her pictures, so that could be making it just kind of pucker. But otherwise, I think it's really pretty and interesting. It's fairly well done. I'm just not a huge fan of the tiered skirt paired up with the sequined bodice. Felicity Jones here looking beautiful, but this would have been so much more successful in a less shiny fabric. It is so shiny and it's likely gorgeous in person, but for photography, it has this intense flashback that makes it look much less polished than it otherwise would. Overall though, it's great for her proportions. It's a beautiful, timeless dress here. Jessica Brown Finley's dress, I quite like. It's very classic and simple. The texture is really interesting. The fabric is really fun. It tucks in her waist nicely. The placement of the horizontal stripes and color change is done so strategically. If it were reverse, where the white panel was at her waistline, it would actually widen her waistline, which would be unfortunate. So this was really, really smart. It was a great choice. Kate Hudson's Dior gown is a little too reflective for the red carpet, but still lovely. Beautiful silhouette, a timeless design. And this red look on Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, I love. It is so fresh and different. I think it really works. Normally, these types of things can go sideways real easily, but this one I think was so perfectly styled, and of course she's got the body type to carry it off. It looks amazing. Misha Barton's yellow mini dress here, I do like it, but it does look like it's falling down, like it's too short. It needed to be pulled up. Perhaps some spaghetti straps would have helped, and the faux fur or fur shawl is not my favorite. But I like the dress. It's really fun. It's giving like a 60s vibe. It's really cool. It's just maybe a little too small. Next, we have Anne Hathaway in a Dior dress that otherwise would have been super successful if it weren't for the bust not fitting her properly. You can see some puckering here. It looks like she's pulling her shoulders up to make the dress work. Anytime you see it looking like somebody's shoulders are like up and like back, they're trying to hold their dress properly and make it look right, because it has too much room in the straps and or in the bust, and that's what's happening here. If it didn't have that extra room, it would have been very lovely. Sandra Bullock wearing Dior, I absolutely love. It is gorgeous. It looks fabulous on her. The only thing I would wish is that they would start those tiers just a tad bit lower because it almost looks like an arrow pointing straight up to the crotch. So that's unfortunate. If they had started a little bit farther down, it would not have had that effect and look absolutely perfect. Penelope Cruz in a fabulous Dior midi dress here. Just nice, simple, and sleek. Nothing special, but still very timeless. Eva Mendes in this somewhat sculptural, almost like a peplum vibe, white gown here. This looks really, really beautiful. She definitely has the body type and height to carry this off, this volume at the front. Although it's not my absolute favorite, it was sort of a trend at the time. These sort of panels that hang off the front of a dress, sort of moving into sculptural pieces that aren't too difficult to wear. Now here we have Jennifer Lawrence in what was a bit of a trend at the time, this sort of tie-dye, watercolor sort of fabric effects that were really, really on trend in this year. And they did it in a very classic Dior silhouette, this basic ball gown, strapless ball gown silhouette that's very, very flattering, especially on Jennifer Lawrence. It's giving Aurora Borealis. It's really quite successful, even if you don't love the way the fabric looks. I just think the green across the bottom and the bit of like almost tears or tattered look to the fabric here and there ruined it. If it weren't for that, I think it would have been way more successful. Overall, it looks nice on her and she pulls it off good. It's just that green, I think, muddied up the look overall. Next, we have this Dior dress. The dress itself is absolutely spectacular. I do think this one would have looked great with some really thin, dainty spaghetti straps, perhaps something that sort of echoed the embellishments across the dress, just because strapless isn't always the easiest to wear. It's nice sometimes if it would look good with a spaghetti strap to see them go ahead and put that on. It makes it easier to wear. It prevents the look of things falling down. It kind of divides up the décolletage from looking too dominant or too long. It can just be a nice way to balance a look, but I'm not mad at it. I love the dress, but I hate the hair. Once again, she had a huge miss when it came to the hair. If it were just up in an updo or even just like some curls, some soft curls, it would have been fabulous. Charlize Theron here in this very interesting blush colored Dior gown. Now it does have a lot going on. It has another one of those sort of large bow panel of volume off the front belt area here. It also has a deep V. It's sleeveless and it has a very high slit. So there's a lot happening, but because it's in a flowier fabric, I think it's much more successful than it would have been in a more stiff fabric. It's not my favorite, but it is beautiful. But here we have the haul of absolute successes. These are some of the most beautiful dresses Dior has ever put on a celebrity's body. Notable mentions here, Carey Mulligan in a dress that fits her like a glove, tailored to perfection. This ball gown has absolutely nothing wrong with it. It is so perfectly gorgeous. Classic and timeless. Will forever look beautiful. Looking back 100 years from now, this will still look spectacularly elegant and gorgeous. Rihanna in one of the best mini dresses they have ever made. I absolutely love the fun folding and paneling across the bottom of this, paired up with the short sleeves, gives it a really fun vibe. Very, very fresh for a mini dress. Rosie Huntington-Whiteley in this high-low strapless dress, fits her perfectly, very classic, very timeless, very simple, but gorgeous nonetheless. Selena Gomez, one of her best looks ever. If you look at the catalog of Selena Gomez's looks on the red carpet, this is one of the best, one of the most successful. Fits her perfectly, balances her proportions, stunning color on her, fabulous texture. So well done. Dior has this feminine, modern vibe that brings classic and timeless style and designs. And that is what their brand was founded on. So these types of styles from them are the most successful. They are iconically Dior. They are absolutely fabulous, wonderful, beautiful dresses. So well made, so well tailored, elegant and chic. Having this clean lines and good tailoring and excellent fit paired up with their feminine take on things creates these sort of designs that are going to forever look beautiful. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about Dior. They have some of the best names in the business wearing their stuff and as ambassadors for them, including in the menswear, Johnny Depp and names like that are household names, truly super spectacularly famous, because they do create these sorts of timeless looks. So they look for the highest caliber of celebrity to dress. And they have done an impeccable job here with these looks. Which is your favorite? Which was your least favorite? I cannot wait to read it in the comments. And do not miss the fashion edition where we are reviewing all of the royal ladies who have worn Dior and their looks. Thank you so much for joining me for Dior Week. I hope you have a very happy day ahead, and I will see you next time. Bye!